Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Jets and the Houston Texans. Here's Tate to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Third and long, it's Watson. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Avery Williamson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
Watch it now, Barney!
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that is caught by our Darius Stewart. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Sims. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Watch it now, Barney!
On third down, that's Harrison. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Robert Kimdichie forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw on second is Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by a Connor Witherspoon. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll run with Cannon. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. It's still a nice play by the defense. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking downfield for, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of. Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled. And normally what you... Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now, he may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Here's Watson. He's going to go for a big play down. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep over, and that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here's Cannon. And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Gun! Watching now, Barney!
He's going to get it running right. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Watson. His throw incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Down! Green the line! Green the line!
Watson on 3rd down. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's fourth. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10.
Watching that, Barney.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble.
Watching that, Barney.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Now he's going to send this one deep right. That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They give him a gain of 37. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he will score. It's a touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead, not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Watson now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. On the ground, the drive starts with Sims. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. And the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Anderson. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
He'll look to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. In for the score. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Handoff comes to Montgomery. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
3rd and 2, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Watson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Ty Montgomery, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it. He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Watson now going to run the option right. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught right side by Anderson. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
On the carry, it's Cannon. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now they run with Sims. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Watching that, Barney!
They'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off. That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jets are going to take the lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Here's Tate to return. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Back to throw, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Partner sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and we'll see who's faster.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made.
Black 22.
Throwing again is Watson. And his throw is incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Stopped him in his tracks. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. Ty Montgomery unable to get to the marker. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Dancing to his left. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
They'll run. This is Cannon. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, it's Watson. Oh, no, he lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And now running right through it, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Well, the opportunity squashed. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there. And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off. He's back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains. You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them. Back to throw. It's caught to Charles. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Hey, Black 22! Black 22!
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. They'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And at 50 seconds left, he'll spike it to stop the clock. Back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Watson now to throw. And incomplete here on third down. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Hey, Black 22!
Desperation time. Watson on fourth down. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it would appear the Jets are going to win this football game. When down, it's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here. Fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college and happen in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Jets, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Texans, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the
We want back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, no new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake 'em up, the champs is in, We want back ends,